Hey guys, welcome back to the Ad Lib Podcast. I can see we are live and alive, all good. So today with us we've got a special guest, Jan. How's it going, Jan?
How's it going? How's it going, Andrea? Very happy to be here. Looking forward to talking about the things we like to talk about the most. That's movies. So very happy to be here.
Yes, definitely. What about you, Franco? How's it going?
I'm good. I got my movies in this time. I have quite a lot to review, and we also must start with the podcast by praising Lisan Al Gaib.
Lisan Al
Lisan Al
Gaib!
Gaib! It's not the unfortunately it's not the main highlight because we have the Oscar predictions to go, and and then we also have Dune Part 2 to review. How has your week been? No, not your week. Yes, the start of the week and your past week. How was it, Andrea?
Not bad. Had a good weekend. I didn't watch too much. We'll get into it in a bit now, in fact. I had a lot of football, had a few matches, so that took up some time in the evenings, of course. But apart from that, decent week. Yesterday I had a really good time. We went for a walk. Went for a walk next to the sea. Really needed some relaxation time.
Nice.
So I haven't been as active watching stuff as I usually am, but still a few things to review this week. Because we've got lots to talk about, Franco, but our viewers and listeners want to know something.
What is the Ad Lib Podcast all about?
Yep. The Ad Lib Podcast is all about movies, all about series, and all about video games. Now, today, we don't have a lot of video game stuff to talk about. We have one video game which caught my attention, which we'll get into later on. Obviously, we'll start off the podcast talking about our past week, what we've been up to, what we've been watching. Then, with regard to trailers, we really don't have much. We're just going to mention it, and that's it, because we've talked about it enough, I think. We had the trailer release of Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, the final trailer for that. But I mean, we've talked about it endlessly at this point, so that is just a mention. Then we're going to have a look at a particular game called No Rest for the Wicked, which is a very, very interesting little game. We got the showcase for it from Moon Studios, famous for, what was the games, Franco? Ori,
Metroidvania kind of games. But I remember the first Ori. Forgot the name, but apparently they put another one as well. Back in the day, it was that one and Hollow Knight, if I'm not mistaken. Hollow Knight, and it was also in the games were really doing good, especially platformers.
They're all indie darlings, basically.
Exactly.
And when I saw Diablo meets Dark Souls, it really piqued my attention. So we'll comment about that. After that, we're going to look at the news. Not a lot of news again. We're going to look at the box office for Dune, which is really impressive. We'll also, obviously, the main highlight for today, as Franco mentioned, we'll be looking at our Oscar predictions. So we'll make all our Oscar predictions this week, because next Sunday, right? Sunday evening.
Sunday evening, yeah.
The Oscar night. So looking forward to that. So we'll give all our predictions. Then we've got a lot of reviews. Franco will start off. I think Franco can start off with Femme, a review for Femme. I'll give you a review for Spaceman, which released on Netflix this week. Franco is also reviewing Lisa Frankenstein and Parallel, and obviously we'll end the evening with our Dune Part 2 review, which will obviously be the main review for today. And with that, guys, we can get into our week. Jan, being our special guest today, you can start off. What have you been up to this week? What have you been watching, playing? Tell us.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm a bit sick. I've been sick since yesterday, so I'm currently going through a cold at the moment. But thankfully, I'm soldiering through to these past 2 days. My week. With regards to movies, I'm recently catching up during these past couple of weeks, because in February, like the first 2-3 weeks of February, I fell a bit behind with regards to movies. I had a very tight schedule, starting my first podcast as well, so that took over the movie schedule. However, I'm recently I'm picking up the pace when it comes to movies as well. With regards to this week, just as you mentioned just now. Football took over a bit the schedule as well. Unfortunately, my team is not going too well at the moment, because I'm a Man United supporter. So not the best time to be a fan during this time right now. However, we'll keep going that way. With regards to movies, it's more it's basically a mix. There are a couple of movies that they were serving as rewatches, and a couple of movies that I've never watched in the past previously. Recently I've been watching the Dollars trilogy, for a fistful of dollars and for a few dollars more on the classics, basically The Good, Bad, the Ugly. I'm planning to watch it this week, between tomorrow and Wednesday. I'm gonna try my best. So really looking forward to be watching that. Rewatched House Moving Castle recently, because back in November, December, I was doing a Studio Ghibli marathon, but then the Oscar movie started to come one. They started coming one by one, and I had to pause my marathon. There, I was like 10 movies in. Now I'm in my 12th or 13th film. That's one I've watched was House Moving Castle, as I mentioned previously. To give you very quick thoughts on that film. Great movie. I consider it top, if not top 5, definitely top 10. Couple of parts where it slowed down a bit, but the animation as per Studio Ghibli, it's breathtaking. The story, same as well, fantastic. And I mean, it's what a Hayao Miyazaki movie and Studio Ghibli are all about, basically. So that's basically that. Again, catching up a bit on the Oscar movies as well. Zone of Interest was the last one I've watched. Fantastic. If I had managed to see that, if I had managed to see that movie just on December, it would have been in my top 5 easily. For me, the use of sound, how sound was incorporated in that film, it was so unique, for a film centered on the Holocaust. But yeah, overall, despite being sick, under the weather, had a good week so far. Catching up on some movies and planning to catch on more movies and also experience new games as well at the same time. More on the retro games than the new ones recently, because I have to find the time, obviously, to play those types of activities. But yeah, overall, okay.
I noticed, yeah, and when I'm sick, also when I get a week sick, although I'm never happy to be sick, but you obviously find the time to start to watch a lot of stuff. I at least find this time to watch so much stuff when I'm sick.
Try my best, man.
Now, Jan, obviously you mentioned your podcast, and I just wanted to share it really quickly.
Yes, go ahead.
Tell us a little bit. So obviously, it's quite obvious it's about Formula One.
Yes. Just to
For
give
our
you
viewers,
just give you a quick thoughts on it. It's called the Pit Stop Lounge. Basically, it's a podcast about Formula One. What happens on the racetrack, at the paddock, behind the scenes, basically. There's me and my buddy Malcolm. We give a shout out to from here. Basically, we just talk about what has been happening during Formula One. We normally do race reviews. Talk about what's happening behind the scenes as well, even other stuff. For example, we're not this week's episode, but the one on Sunday or Monday. We're gonna be talking about Drive to Survive, basically. So we're gonna give our thoughts on that as well. So anything related to Formula One, basically. The episodes, as Andrea is sharing right now, they're on YouTube, but they're also available on Spotify. So it would be really great for us to for me and my friend Malcolm as well to give us a like and a follow, and also to give their thoughts on each episode as well. So that would be really appreciated. Yeah, episodes are out every week or 2 weeks, depending obviously on the schedule, every single week. So yeah, that's pretty much it on the podcast, basically.
Unfortunately, not the most exciting time for Formula One.
No, not at all.
Every
No,
week.
not at all. I mean, it's been going like this for a couple of seasons now. I mean, unfortunately, if it's not one driver, it's the next. And unfortunately, there's so much. The lack of competition is so alarming this season, and even last season. But I mean, last season, for those who don't know, basically, Red Bull and specifically Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez, they won pretty much every single race apart from one, which was won by Carlos Sainz, who drives for Ferrari. So when you have an entire season of just one team winning consistently, it's extremely boring. Most of the races are literally in Maltese we say "Puċċistjoni basically.
Yes,
And
there was-
it's exactly like that basically. Every single
Midway through the last race, yeah, and I think there was like a 16-second difference between
22
Verstappen and
seconds. 22 seconds.
Yeah.
The
Lalo.
race was
Lord,
won
I
by
mean-
22 seconds. Yeah.
like
I mean,
ridiculous.
and on the subject of Drive to Survive, unfortunately, Drive to Survive, it is same old. I mean, if you've watched previous seasons of that show, it's exactly what you're expecting it to be, basically. So it's very the formula. It's exactly the same. I don't know if that's Netflix or if that's the producers, basically, but
Pun intended. Formula is the same.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's cars going after each other. Really.
Yeah. And with Netflix, they have the habit to cause unnecessary drama when in the reality it's not the case.
Yeah, a lot of
No,
drivers
no,
have
no.
commented, like Verstappen commented about how much like
Yeah,
fictional
listen,
drama they had.
Max isn't the most media sort of guy, unlike for
Oh,
example,
no,
like
no.
Norris or Hamilton, for example. So
Rizless.
yeah, he doesn't like these sort of shenanigans, basically. So
No, and I think it's also like makes them lose focus on the race as well. No, it's very,
yeah, exactly. It just loses the focus on that as well, and just as you said right now, basically on the focus of they lose complete focus when it comes to the races.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yep. What about you, Franco? How's your week been?
First, I think we can also say that it's the only Formula One podcast on the island as well. So
Yeah,
that's
I would
also.
imagine that.
As far as I know, yes, I think.
So no, it's the only one because the other is just driving programs.
It's great to hear that.
My week has been lots of movies. I started one which is on YouTube. Basically, this is a good if you're interested in Soviet era movies. There's Boss Film has a YouTube channel which uploads 4K restorations of old Russian movies. I think there's also Color of Pomegranates, if I'm not mistaken. I forgot the name of the director, but he's very well known. I think there should also be some Tarkovsky on there. And I found this horror movie called VIY, which is all available on YouTube for you to watch in its 4K glory. So I started that, but stopped it. Otherwise, I've watched FAM. They called it the gay good time, basically, but we'll talk about it later.
Is it this one, Franco? VIY, check.
Yes, that's the one. So the channel is Boss Film. You can find lots. There's a great library. Oh yes, this is Tarkovsky. I think this is Tarkovsky with Akira Kurosawa. This one
Looks very gothic.
VIY.
Yeah, it looks very gothic from the thumbnail. It looks quite a bit gothic.
Yes, because it's
Akira
based
as well.
It's based on the Gogol short story, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Gogol short story, and also Mario Bava also did a story based on it, but it's called Black Sunday. So there's that. Watched also Lisa Frankenstein, breezy watch. More later on. Parallel, very interesting. I got my sci-fi on as well because then afterwards I watched yesterday Dune Part 2, and like my brother said, I'm jealous for Joe who's going to watch it the first time. I think he's watching it right now.
Yeah, probably.
So, hello to Joe. And
collecting his popcorn.
Yeah, exactly. Popcorn, and most probably he's going to be like this as well watching it. Lots to speak about. There's some news as well that has to do locally with the Mediterranean Film Festival, and Oscar predictions. I think pretty easy. I guess. I think this is like if Verstappen
is the easiest one I've ever had, to be honest.
Yes.
Cakewalk, most of the categories.
Yes.
Like it's quite the winners are for me. Are
very
quite
obvious. Yeah.
I put in one or two little controversial decisions to make it a little exciting, but it's more just to make it a little exciting rather than thinking they can actually win. That's pretty much it because it was so boring.
Manufacture a bit of dissent, exactly.
Exactly.
I mean, it's the Oscars. I mean, they're mostly very predictable, the Oscars. So
Yes, but
you
last
can't go-
year they were a bit more tricky. Like Austin Butler, we were all
Yes, I
thinking
agree.
Austin Butler could win, for example. Although we didn't want him to win, as much as I love Austin
I
Butler.
was very happy that Brendan Fraser won, to be honest with you. Austin Butler was fantastic.
Exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes.
But Brendan Fraser was sensation in the way. I think based on him or Austin Butler, I would definitely prefer Brendan Fraser over Austin
Mhm.
Butler.
Mhm.
Elvis for me was just too stylish in my opinion. Not it's a good movie, but I mean Austin Butler was fantastic though. So
I
can't go
liked
wrong with
Elvis. I liked Elvis. I agree.
Uh-huh.
with you. I liked Elvis a lot.
Mhm.
I had a
I-
good time watching it in the cinema.
More than Bob Marley, One Life.
Yes, 100%. Like
I haven't,
mentioned it
I
in my
haven't
Bob
seen that
Marley
movie
review.
yet.
No
Haven't
need
seen
to watch
that yet.
it, really. Honestly, there's no need to watch it. It's such a
It's
by the
very
books,
yeah,
by the books
very
musical biopic that it's there. It's like you can just watch a documentary about Bob Marley. and it'll
Speaking
be
of
more interesting, probably.
Speaking of by the books, the more I see the trailer of Back to Black of Amy Winehouse, the more I'm like,
Yes, because we had the trailer in Embassy. You watched it in Embassy,
Yeah.
Kolishek.
Yeah,
same here,
yeah.
same here. And it
The
was
trailer looks
actually
bland.
yesterday the first trailer that I obviously went to the morning screen of Dune Part 2. The first trailer they showed was Back to Black. Then the second was Godzilla versus Kong.
Yes,
and Back to
yes,
Black,
yes.
it looks very. I mean, you'll get to it first, and I'll give my thoughts on that sooner. If that's the case.
No, I mean, same. But again, I'm looking forward to watch Godzilla. I'm just
Yeah,
going
I am
there
too. I am too. As dumb as it looks,
as it looks.
I think it's going to be a good time in the cinema. Honestly.
For me, I don't.
No,
For me, I
I'm,
don't know, to be honest.
I'm still laughing at the fact that Godzilla's running, man. I've never. Godzilla's more athletic than me, man.
Oh,
How is it possible?
CGI heavier.
Loud.
Yeah, for
No,
sure.
to be fair, it has to be
Super
CGI.
CGI heavy.
Unless
I
you
mean,
want, unless you want the toy Godzilla
no, I don't want that. No,
drop
no.
kicking Kong.
The baby Kong
That's-
specifically, he looks
Oh, how about the
really,
baby?
really.
No,
Oh
Baby
my
Kong looks
god,
bad.
he looks really bad. Yeah?
Oh no, and it looks bad. It looks
That
bad.
looks
It very
terrible.
bad.
It's like, but they're doing a Baby Yoda basically. That's what
Pretty
they're
much.
doing.
Baby
Anything
Yoda
else,
looks
Franco?
better
Sorry,
than that.
yeah. Much
Baby
better.
Yoda looks absolutely better than
much
Baby Kong.
better.
because they did it practical. Also,
But that's
yes,
practical.
guys, we're going to interview the director of Tiger Stripes. We're very happy and very excited. This is our first Malaysian director we're going to interview. If you want to leave us questions that you want to ask her, also like some tips about what Malaysian movie they should watch, and any other stuff that you might be interested in asking, please go ahead. We'll be interviewing her March 16th.
Yes,
And
definitely.
finally some estrogen on this podcast, because we really like estrogen on this podcast.
And since we're talking about comments, please, guys, viewers and listeners in the chat, we've got 10 viewers right now. Leave a comment, ask us questions, let us know what you thought about Dune, let us know your thoughts about all the things you've watched this week. Like and subscribe. Last week, I believe like 60% of viewers were not subscribed. Your subscription helps us grow. So please subscribe to our channel.
Appease the algorithm gods.
Algorithm gods. Anything else, Franco, you wanted to comment about?
No, that's it. And we can go straight to the news,
To
right?
my week, Franco.
No
You're
one
forgetting
cares. No one cares. Let's go. Let's go to the
Oh,
news.
great.
What about my week?
Who cares?
No, because I wanted to talk about something. Because I don't know, Jan, how you are with Star Trek, but I haven't watched any Star Trek at all in my life.
I only watch the movies, to be honest with you, because they're
Not even the movies.
Not even the
Not-
movies.
not even
like
the movies.
like not the
Nothing.
J.J. Abrams ones. Neither of
Nothing.
those.
None of them.
Okay.
But
yeah.
I've
He's-
started.
He's not
I'm
into the
watching
lens
everything
flare.
now.
He's not into the lens flare.
To
me,
be
so-
honest, I'm a bit like him because I'm more of a Star Wars guy than Star
Exactly.
Trek. I mean I have the entire box set of the Star Trek from the William Shatner ones all the way to the J.J. Abrams ones at home, but I've never watched them besides obviously the J.J. Abrams ones. Those are the only ones I've watched. The old ones, for some reason, I just can't get through them, man. Especially the first few movies. They haven't aged quite well, to be honest with you.
But no, they say it's not the first Star Trek. The second one is much
The Wrath
better.
of
They
Khan.
say.
Wrath
Wrath
of
of
Yes,
Khan.
yes, that one. Yes, that one is actually the best one. By most fans of the source material, they basically mentioned that they basically state that movie as the best one. But then there's like the first one and like the fifth or sixth. they're crap. And they're terrible.
It's like a
Fair-
5
is-
point something on IMDb.
First
Fifth one,
Contact.
I think.
First Contact with the one with
The
Jean-Luc
the last generation, I believe.
No, the one that Shatner directed, I believe. The one that Shatner directed.
Yes.
I think First
okay, okay.
Contact. I
To
think.
be honest, when it comes to ratings, you mentioned IMDb. I mostly follow Letterboxd.
But even on Letterboxd,
I mean,
it's
that's
at like 2 point something. So
because that's why I post. That's why I post my reviews and
Yes,
basically look at the ratings. So I follow more that than IMDb. To be honest with you.
But so this week I finally finished the original series binge because I've been binging the original series, the Star Trek original series, and I've been having such a good time watching them. And I finally finished the last few episodes of the original series. I didn't watch all of them. I skipped a couple, which the really bad ones, like Spock's brain. I was told by everyone to skip that one, so I skipped some of the awful ones, but watched the vast majority of them. And I had a really good time. I really had a good time. I started Next Generation. Now I watched the first couple of episodes of Next Generation and looking forward to continuing that. And now I'm going to start the movies this week. I'm going to watch the first movie, the actual first Star Trek movie. I got the Blu-rays for them, so looking forward to starting them this week. Yeah, got the Blu-rays for all of them, from the 1st to the 12th, I believe, because I have 6 in the first Blu-ray, 4 in the second Blu-ray, and like 3 in the third one. So 6, 10, 13 in total.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a lot, yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of Blu-ray and a lot of money. God, don't tell Christian.
Yeah. So, I mean, 12 movies in one box set. Normally, I mean, it's
they're split up into 3 batches.
Yeah,
There's
but
the first 6 in the first box, then 4 for the Next Generation batch, and the last 3 are the J.J. Abrams ones, either directed or produced by Abrams.
Triple X has said, has anyone watched Shogun on Disney Plus? I think Joe has.
I have to see
Joe
that.
has.
I've
and
watched
even
it as well. Yeah.
So Andrea can talk about it.
Amazing. Shogun is so good. I was going to comment about it, in fact, when I get to my series, but might as well comment about it now. Shogun is, in my opinion, currently the best series available. It's just shot like a movie. It's a kind of series where like the distinction between TV and cinema is non-existent until then you go and watch Dune Part 2, which obviously is a completely different story. But Shogun is, in my opinion, one of the most cinematic things I've ever watched. The production design, the performance, the actors in this are insanely talented. So good. You recognize her, Franco?
Yeah, from Legacy of Monsters.
From Monarch, Legacy of Monsters. She's so good in this. She's so much better in this than in Monarch. But obviously the script helps a lot, and the setting and everything. Basically, it's set in 16th century Japan, and we've got this European ship from Holland, which maroons onto Japan, and basically it's a big scramble from the different lords of Japan, trying to first of all get the weaponry and the ammo and so on that was on the ship, but most importantly, trying to create an alliance with United Kingdom, basically with the British Empire, because our main protagonist is from England, and it's interesting to see the politics in feudal Japan, although this is feudal Japan, I guess. Still. In feudal Japan, the politics is done so well. I love the sudden bursts of violence and blood which come out of nowhere. There's a particular scene where the samurai is just and slices a man's head. It's beautifully done, beautifully shot as well. Nice. We'll watch it for sure then. Thank you, Ed. It's amazing. I think Shogun is currently the best TV show, and I'm sure by the end of the year it will definitely be the best show of the year. I find it very hard thinking something can compete with this. I've seen a lot of people comparing it to Game of Thrones. I get why, the politics and the political machinations behind it. I get it as well. Reminds me also a lot, obviously, for Scorsese's Silence as well. Lots of, you can tell the aesthetics are very much inspired by Scorsese's Silence as well.
Same
period. So
yeah,
I think the time period is the same. I think because the plot, it's not the same.
No,
definitely.
Plot is very different. There's much more politics in this. Obviously, religion still plays a part because obviously you've got the Protestants and the Catholics involved here. Because at this point now, Japan is more or less under the influence of Portugal. In fact, when Portugal and the Portuguese Empire and the Spanish Empire divided the whole world, basically cutting a line across the world, Japan fell under the Portuguese Empire. So it falls under the Portuguese influence, kind of. So obviously they are more or less, the religious influences are Catholic here. But now you've got this Protestant person arriving in Japan, and it's interesting to see also how religion will play a part. First 2 episodes came out last week on Tuesday on Disney Plus, Hulu, and the next episode will be out tomorrow. So really looking forward to watching that. Apart from that, I watched the next episode of Halo Season 2. Halo Season 2 episode, I believe we're now on episode 5. Yeah, episode 5. I think this was pretty much the weakest episode of the season so far. As you know, I wasn't the biggest fan of Season 1. Season 2 has been quite promising. I quite liked last week's episode, the Fall of Reach episode. This week's episode was like a breather after the massive battle on Reach, which I think most of the character-driven drama here could have been done much better. I wasn't convinced by this episode. I'd say this is the weakest episode, mostly because there is an unfortunate still focus on very uninteresting characters. In a Halo series, you would expect the focus to be on Master Chief, right? And the Spartans. Instead, we get side characters like Soren and his wife, who for some reason are given a side plot nobody cares about. We've still got Kwan on the show, who nobody cares about, still appearing, and those moments are, I just switch off in those moments. I also just finished Masters of the Air, episode 7, which was another great episode of television. I think if anything is going to compete with Shogun, it's Masters of the Air, a fantastic series. I've been having such a great time. I believe this was episode 7, exactly. The most recent one was episode 7. We've got 9 episodes in total, so still 2 to go. So really looking forward to it, and obviously upcoming.
Is it very similar to Band of Brothers, Andrea, or it's different?
Yes,
because
yes, it's the same production team basically of Band of Brothers, more or less same production team, more or less same producers.
Okay.
Tom Hanks, Spielberg.
Tom Hanks and
producer.
Spielberg, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, the style is a little different because we're focusing on bombers now. We're focusing on the 100 who are bombers, but still the same tone and still more or less the same team of brotherly. The brother companionship that grows up between these soldiers who are fighting in such horrible conditions. Like going into the 100, the flying fortresses of the 100 was basically a death sentence. You're going to die, more or less. Like basically, the amount of people who die in this is just horrific to see. Very historically realistic as well, like completely historically accurate. Very realistic as well in its approach and the way people react to things. Very, very realistic. Last TV show I watched the first episode of The Regime, starring Kate Winslet. I'm not convinced. I think Kate Winslet is very good in this, but I expected something different. At the same time, I was like, man, politics right now is so ridiculous that it's so hard to release really good political satire in the world we live in right now.
If you want satire, just watch the news right now.
Just watch the news, and you've got everything there. So the tone, I'm just not convinced by the tone taken. It's very whimsical, but I was expecting more of a kind of like, I don't know what I expected. I am expecting more like dark humor on the style of Succession, or The White Lotus, that kind of like tone where it's dark with some elements of humor here and there. But this is like pure full blast comedy, the tone taken by the show. So maybe that took me a bit off guard. Kate Winslet, however, is a goddess. She's amazing, and whenever she's on screen, I'm having a good time. Whenever she's not so much. So we'll reserve judgment for the next few episodes. We'll see if it takes a turn for the better. So far, not too convinced. Apart from that, I watched Dune Part 2, obviously. We'll review it later on. I watched Spaceman. I'll review that later on as well. Watched a couple of short classics as well. Had a free lesson. Watched Trip to the Moon and The Great Train Robbery. Watched a few classics there, which I had never watched before. So
back in higher secondary, I watched those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good to see a bit of history as well of cinema
Yeah.
every now and then, just to keep up with things. That's pretty much my week. So with that, viewers and listeners in the chat, let us know what you've been up to this week. I hope you're enjoying the podcast, and if you are, hit that like button and subscribe. With that, with regard to trailers, like I said, we don't have much. If you want to check it out, you can check out the Ghostbusters trailer. We've commented more or less. We've commented and said everything we had to say about the Ghostbusters trailers that have released. Jan, just wanted to hear your thoughts. I don't know if you've been following the trailers for Ghostbusters.
To be honest, I'm not a massive Ghostbusters fan. I've only watched the first one, and I've watched the one before, Afterlife was called, I believe.
It was
Yes,
Afterlife. right?
Afterlife.
Yep.
I wasn't too convinced with Afterlife. I mean, it's not a bad movie. It's serviceable at best, in my opinion. But I think it was more for the devoted fans of that franchise. So I'm not entirely sold on this movie. It doesn't look bad. It looks decent in my opinion. But I'm not a massive Ghostbusters fan. If I'm being honest, I've only watched the first one. The first one, it's not I wouldn't rank it with like Back to the Future, for example, or other similar movies
way.
like that. But it's good. So I might watch it, but it's not in my priority on my priority watch list. If I'm being completely honest, so I'll still watch it though, because it's
Me and Franco-
Ghostbusters,
yeah.
so it's an event.
Yes, it's an event film, exactly. Me and Franco
Yeah,
commented a lot about the horror elements, which seem to be quite prominent, right, Franco?
Yep.
Even the antagonist looks quite...
The creature design looks quite like more on the horror, like young adult horror. And yeah, actually, they made the Corridor Crew team did an episode on the special effects of Ghostbusters on most of the movies. And funny enough, Afterlife has a mixture of practical and CGI. Yeah? So it was quite decent as well.
I think this is leaning more on the CGI, though. It seems very CGI heavy.
Yeah, more CGI heavy. So for sure, I mean, creature design and
very noticeable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
another. Unfortunately, it's another nostalgia grab. I mean,
yes. Even the fact that they're going for all the ghosts you've seen in the past, they're all releasing again. So obviously, we're going to have lots of ghosts from the past appearing in this one as well.
Again, quoting my brothers, my brother said it best. Like, out of all the stories, it's all franchises. When he just set his eyes on the trailer, his first comment, right out of the bat. Out of all these stories that we have, it's more franchises.
Yeah, pretty much.
And he's right.
He's very right. With that, we can look at the next trailer we have, which is for No Rest for the Wicked. So we've got a video game here to comment about. Now, I watched basically the showcase, that's the Wicked Inside showcase from Moon Studios. Can just put it on here. I'm sure we won't be DMCA'd. Hopefully we won't. Now, Moon Studios, we had Moon Studios co-founders, Thomas Mahler and Gennady Korel, who gave us a deep dive into No Rest for the Wicked, which is an upcoming action RPG set in the year 841. Player assumes control of a holy warrior who must travel to the island of Isola Sacra to investigate a plague named the Pestilence. The team gives us a peek at the story, the handcrafted world, the painting art style, precision-based and animation-driven combat system, and overcoming telegraphed attacks, various weapons, and how enchantments impact weapons, runes, gear, and the soft class system. Now, this game, No Rest for the Wicked, is heading to Steam Early Access on April 18, 2024, and will be released later on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC at a later date. Guys, I don't know if you had the time to have a look at this game. Jan?
For me, it's Dark Souls meets Diablo. I mean, I'm repeating what you said before. The combat, from the few minutes I've watched in regards to gameplay, even just the art style, we're seeing it here as well. It's very reminiscent of Dark Souls. I mean, from the few minutes of gameplay, we got to witness basically. There's there's a reliance of timing your movements correctly, because if you one, I mean, we all know, if you ever play the Dark Souls games, I mean, one misstep, you're basically screwed. So
Yeah.
I mean, I think it looks like that this game, from this, I'm assuming it's an indie developer, they're following the spot as well. So might I mean, to be honest with you, Souls games are my cup of tea. That's my brother's more into those type of games. I'm more I honestly play every single type of game that there is available. The Souls games, I'd never like my games to be super challenging. I like a challenge, but not like the super challenging gameplay of Dark Souls, for example. So it looks intriguing. I mean, an indie developer, when an indie developer makes a video game, you always wish them for the best. And like the potential, from what I've seen from the 25 minutes that were shown, with regards to gameplay, it looks intriguing. I mean, Diablo and Dark Souls, that mishmash of gameplay elements, you can have a really nice game there, on paper. But it all depends of how the game gets launched, when it launches on Steam. So it looks intriguing from first glance.
Franco, what do you think about the art style?
No, I like the art style. It's something different. It's something. It reminds me. Looks painterly. I cannot see it properly here. I saw it a bit on the phone. I like the art style. But they said it's not procedurally generated.
No, everything is hand painted, hand animated, hand designed.
Yeah, I think
Which is great to hear.
that makes
That's
a difference.
impressive, eh?
Mhm.
Yep.
That makes a difference. I think again, so for so many recently I saw some news where they said Ubisoft is going to release a quadruple A game. Like, okay, stop hyping yourselves up.
I mean, the first quadruple A release wasn't a very successful one with the pirate games one.
Skull and Bones. Skull and Bones.
Skull and Bones, not Shadow Bones.
Skull and Bones. I mean, on the subject of Ubisoft, I mean, the less said from them, the better, because every time they release like a AAA game, they get unsuccessful results mainly.
Yeah.
So
to the point, gamers
shut up. To be honest with you,
to the point, gamers went back to playing Black Flag.
Exactly, and it had more
there was a
players
massive
than
jump.
Skull and Bones. It's a fantastic game. I remember playing the hell out of Black Flag when it came out. That's the fourth one, right? The fourth Assassin's
Yeah, just
Creed.
the fourth game.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
exactly.
that's such a good game, man. That's such a good game. Fantastic. I
It's
miss
aged like
those.
fine wine, that game.
Lalo, I miss those Assassin's Creed. Even the one set in Paris. So good. When it released,
That's actually one of the worst
complete
ones.
disaster. But when you play it a little, I mean, on release date, I remember it was an absolute disaster because of all the glitches. But playing it a couple of years after,
Yeah.
it was so fun, man. Once they fixed all the bugs and glitches,
Yes.
the game was
I agree.
fantastic. My favorite is still 2. My favorite personally.
I
is still 2.
actually, I've a couple of months ago, I've actually beat Assassin's Creed 2, on my PS5 basically. So yeah, I mean, Assassin's Creed, they aren't the same anymore, unfortunately. So
No, they became RPG games, right? That's pretty much.
yes.
the
With
definition.
Valhalla, for instance,
Yes.
not my cup of tea. I'm afraid. when it
And
comes to
massive
RPG.
maps with not much to do, which, to bring the conversation back to this game, it seems like it doesn't look like the biggest of games, obviously. But given the fact that we know that every single nook and cranny of this map has been hand designed, we know it's going to be filled with like collectibles, lots of hidden secrets and loot to collect. And the combat looks very challenging. Looking at this, combat looks really challenging. So I think every enemy you face is basically going to be a challenge. That's the impression I'm getting. Some elements that I found really interesting watching the presentation was there, obviously, as you can see also from this clip, you're going to have a day and night cycle, which obviously will lead to different enemies appearing during the day and the night. You're going to have dynamic weather, which apparently will also influence gameplay somehow, whether it's raining, it's sunny, and so on. The combat is animation driven, so it's more focused around action rather than like what you get in an RPG. So it's the animation that matters, basically. So the dodging is going to be an important element, of course, and timing and so on, similar to what we get obviously in Dark Souls. Gear is going to be an important element of this as well. However, they said whatever gear you have, if you're skilled enough, you can beat the game with whatever gear you find. Obviously, better gear makes the game easier. Basically, that's pretty much it. Similar to Dark Souls, again. I mean, you can beat Dark Souls. Technically speaking, you can beat Dark Souls by just punching your enemies if you're good enough. Obviously,
that is a mammoth task if you're gonna plan to do your entire game like that. So.
Exactly. But technically speaking, if you make 0 mistakes, eventually you should win the game. But I mean, obviously. So weapons have their own move sets. So similar to Dark Souls, again, each weapon has its own move set and its own special attacks. You're going to have a capital city at the center of it all, which will be called Sacrament. And in Sacrament, you can build your house, and you will collect resources and craft gear and set items in your house as well. So it's a very complex game. It looks simple enough, but apparently it's a very, very, very complex game, and I'm very much looking forward to playing this game. You're going to have different regions you can visit. Obviously, bosses are going to be a very important part of the whole game, just like in Dark Souls. Boss fights are generally the best moments of Dark Souls, and apparently they're going to be a big focus here as well. Character design, Franco, I mean, looks fantastic. It's very interesting as well. Obviously, the graphics themselves, we're not going to be comparing the graphics to something, say, like, I don't know, what's the most hyper-realistic graphics you can think of? To like the Ubisoft games, like in Valhalla, for example. I mean, those are hyper-realistic. Here, it's more the art style
they're
of the design.
very, very stylistic. I mean,
exactly.
They know what they're going for, and they're very confident about it. It still looks good, though.
Yes, and the combat looks punchy, responsive.
Yes, gritty.
Very gritty. So it's good to see. And finally, it's going to have multiplayer co-op, which will be interesting to see as well how that will work out. So you can play co-op, so you can go through the campaign with other players, or you can fight against each other. You can also do that. So you can have duels as well, which will be interesting to see as well. So those are some thoughts on No Rest for the Wicked. Viewers and listeners, let us know in the comment section below your thoughts about this game. And with that, we can move on to the news. We'll start off with a quick look at the box office, because Dune is officially had the most successful weekend since Barbie. Now, the number mentioned here in the article is actually not correct, because apparently it's reached 182.5 million worldwide, not 178.5, but 182.5 million worldwide, which is ridiculous, hearing that an almost 3-hour movie has made that much money in the box office. Sci-fi isn't always the easiest sell for the box office, but this time, Franco, it has definitely been quite the hit. What do you think about this, Franco?
Dune must jkollu Dune if it keeps going as it's going. No, I'm very happy. It's well deserved, and many people were looking forward for it. And after apparently other reviewers that I've seen on YouTube are also like very expectant of the third part as well. So there's that.
Dune Messiah.
That's
I've heard it's batshit crazy. I'm gonna finish Dune, the first Dune now, and just go through and read Dune Messiah.
I've yet to read Dune.
Yeah,
so far it's a very good book. Excellent.
No, if you want me to give my thoughts on this, I'm very happy that it's going super well. I mean, I'm gonna get to my thoughts on Dune Part 2 very later on, but this is a movie that is made for the cinema. I mean, it's spectacular from opening minute to last minute. And speaking of a nearly 3-hour movie, it doesn't feel like 3 hours at all. It flies by because you're so logged into this movie. So I'm very happy that it's going very well, and I think it is only upwards from here. And if they're going to make part 3, I say bring it on, because I've heard Doom Messiah is crazy. I haven't read the novels yet, but I'm actually planning to start reading the novels because I have to finish off Watchmen first, and then I'll probably start Dune after that. So yeah.
Watchmen, the graphic novel.
Yeah, because I'm a sucker for graphic novels.
Nice,
I mean,
nice.
and particularly those graphic novels like Watchmen, V for Vendetta, Sin City as well. Those dark graphic novels, basically. Yeah, I'm into those.
Apparently, quick segue into graphic novels. I'm looking to buy a graphic novel called Department of Truth, which it's in plans to become a TV series, and it seems like a really great premise where basically, if you believe a conspiracy hard enough, it becomes reality. So the America sets up this Department of Truth basically to sort out which conspiracy started from where, and they're trying to find like the person responsible for this conspiracy coming to real life. So I'm looking forward to find a copy of that as well. But back into the news.
So I think there's not much to say, right? All praise Dune 2. We're very happy. But these are the kinds of movies we want in the cinema, right? We don't want Madam Web. We want Dune 2, basically.
Like Stilgar said, as it was written.
As it was written.
Don't get me started on Madam Web, man, because
you saw
I
it.
took your advice.
Unfortunately, yes, I saw it. It's worse than Morbius, in my opinion.
Lalo.
Jesus. I took care of that. I think it was also a sign of maturity from myself not going to watch Madam Web.
Yes,
No,
yes.
you've saved yourself. You saved yourselves 2 hours of your time, because
I usually watch everything. I usually literally watch everything that comes out. But
don't watch. I mean, if you want to torture yourself through 2 hours, by all means go and watch it. But it's unbearable. Like
no,
it's terrible.
Madam Web, I put my foot down. Enough. Enough of this shit.
Enough of taking for the team.
Enough. I've done enough for. I mean, you took
movies.
You took it for the team, Jan, because then you put the post up.
Yes. But
you took one for the team.
I to be honest, I wanted to see that movie because it was getting so many bad press, and even the reviews on Letterboxd, like most of the reviews were so hilarious, and I really wanted to see it for myself. And sheesh, kebab, man, it's terrible.
I'll just watch it online now when it releases online. I'll just watch it.
Go ahead, go watch it online. But
I'll watch it online.
Don't you dare step into the cinema for that movie.
No. I'm not paying money to watch that movie. I'm sorry.
The only superhero movie I want to go watch in the cinema this year is Deadpool, basically Deadpool Part 3, because I've watched Ant-Man and the Wasp. I've watched the only one I didn't have the chance to check out was the Marvels, but like Ant-Man and the Wasp was atrocious.
It was,
and even like the other ones as well, like the recent ones that came out a couple of years ago, I just lost faith in superhero movies, if I'm being completely honest. So yeah.
Yeah, it's Deadpool 3. I mean, this year literally is just Deadpool 3 releasing.
Yeah.
Although there is Kraven the Hunter from Sony.
Oh no, I'm not confident in that one as well, because it's from Sony.
Oh boy, that's going to be another. Whew.
No, save yourselves from Adam Web, though. It's terrible.
But go watch Dune 2 in the cinema.
Yep.
Support Denis Villeneuve. He makes great cinema. Just starting up from his first movies, Incendies, Enemy, Prisoners, all amazing movies. And his most recent run, Arrival, 10 out of 10. Fucking Dune Part 1, 10 out of 10. Dune Part 2, 10 out of 10. Blade Runner 2049, 11 out of 10.
What a masterpiece that movie,
Blade Runner so much. It's just like his run right now is challenging like the greats. More, maybe not like the greats, but he is up there with the greats, in my opinion. His current run of films just hit banger after banger. Jan.
No, sorry to interrupt you there, Andrea, but yeah, speaking of Denis Villeneuve, I want to see, because I have yet to see Insanity and Enemy, to be honest with you, because I've watched his other movies, but Insanity and Enemy are the only two movies that I have to check out from his filmography. But this guy, he is just making banger after banger after banger, every single one of them, and even that's why I want him to make Dune Part 3. I mean, apparently he already wrote the script for that movie, so For me, Denis Villeneuve is one of
Sicario.
the best in the market. Yes, Sicario was
We
another
forgot Sicario.
outstanding movie.
Man.
It's
10
gonna
out
t-
of 10.
But it's gonna take a while to see part 3 because apparently he's working on another project
Yeah,
which he gonna speak about.
it's
So
a sci-fi film, that one, if I'm not mistaken.
which
Yes,
one?
he mentioned there's a separate sci-fi film.
Yes,
okay.
exactly.
Clearly he loves sci-fi. I watched the Letterboxd TikTok of his, where he mentioned his favorite movies. He mentioned Close Encounters, Blade Runner, which is interesting. Worked on the sequel. He mentioned what else did he mention? Oh, I forgot what other movies he mentioned. Apocalypse Now. He mentioned Apocalypse Now.
To see that one as well.
And another movie. And Persona, which is interesting to hear.
I watched Persona a couple of
Bergman.
weeks ago, actually.
He mentioned Bergman, Persona, and
especially for the close-ups, and I see that. Yes.
yeah. So the thing about Villeneuve, man, the guy just makes powerful, cinema. But at the center of it all, there's always a lot of heart. Like at the center of Arrival, beautiful, beautiful sci-fi, but
Ooh.
so much emotion at the center of it all. Sicario, such a powerful drama, minus all the beautiful visual cinematography it performed. It's
The
heart
wide
of
shots, especially.
The wide shots, too.
The wide shots, even in Dune Part 2. There are a couple of wide shots in that movie. I was just speechless for most of the shots. I was like, how the hell does this guy keep on making it consistently every single time?
But at the center of
amazing.
it all is the heart, right? You've got Zendaya,
Yes,
for
exactly.
example. But we'll comment about this later on, obviously, in our
Yeah,
review.
Definitely.
So, with that, viewers and listeners in the chat, we're going to get into our Oscars predictions. Now, I have my list. Now, I went according to the way the list is on the Oscars website, which is a little weird because Best Picture is not at the end, but we'll put Best Picture at the end, then we'll skip it when we come to that. But starting off with our first Oscar prediction, we've got actor in a leading role. We're starting off with the big guns. We've got Bradley Cooper for Maestro, Coleman Domingo, Rustin, Paul Giamatti, The Holdovers, Cillian Murphy, Oppenheimer, and Jeffrey Wright, American Fiction. Jan, we'll start with you. What do you think?
My personal choice is Cillian Murphy, obviously. I think it's his first lead role in a Christopher Nolan movie. He finally takes center stage. He absolutely bosses it every single scene. Him and Robert Downey Jr. specifically, but Cillian Murphy in particular. I mean, for me, he should take Best Actor. But in my opinion, don't rule out Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers because he is getting quite a lot of he's getting quite some awards in award season recently. So if I would The Holdovers, to be honest with you, I haven't watched it the entirety of it, but for Oppenheimer, I think Cillian Murphy has this one in the bag. I'm looking at the other nominations. Bradley Cooper in Maestro wasn't the best part in it, in my opinion. Not to say he was terrible in it, but for me, the best part of Maestro was Carey Mulligan, completely unrecognizable in that movie, and even the overall film. For me, Maestro felt a film that was made for the Academy. There were a lot of moments in the film where it was very, very slow, in my opinion. And Bradley Cooper, he was a little bit preachy in some. He wanted to show both a bit to the Academy, in my opinion, with the way he really wanted to, the way he really wants to tell the story, basically. So that's why I can't really go with Bradley Cooper. Rust and American Fiction, I haven't seen them, unfortunately. So I'm planning to watch American Fiction this week. So my personal choice is Cillian Murphy. If this would be his first his first Oscar as well, and even just the way how he commands this film, the emotions. The emotions that this guy goes through throughout Oppenheimer, to his character, how he progresses through the atomic bomb, how the creation of it, and even the aftermath of it. Oppenheimer was my favorite of the year, so I obviously have to give a bit of high praise to it as well. Yeah, Cillian has this in the bag, in my opinion, but don't rule out Paul Giamatti, in my opinion. Don't rule him out.
Franco, your prediction?
I'm gonna keep it short. The thing with Cillian Murphy is I'm so used to seeing him in a secondary role that this might be thinking. I was thinking about it more recently. The thing with Oppenheimer is I couldn't just see him as a central character, Cillian Murphy. It's been so long that I haven't seen him in a central character. So there's that. Otherwise, my prediction is Cillian Murphy, but Bradley Cooper might be there only because, like Jan said, because it's Oscar bait. But it would be nice, like Jan said, for Paul Giamatti to win it. But it's definitely going to Cillian Murphy.
I agree. He has all the momentum. Paul Giamatti won a couple of awards at the start of the like Oscar campaign, but the momentum has shifted completely with Cillian Murphy. At SAG, he was the winner, and SAG is generally the sign of who's going to win the acting awards. And I think Cillian Murphy's got this in the bag. My personal choice would also be Cillian Murphy, to be honest. I think he gives the best performance from all of these five. Although Paul Giamatti would be a close second because he was excellent in the holdovers. Next up, actor in a supporting role. Franco, what do you think?
Actor in a supporting role. Gonna win it for sure, Robert Downey Jr. I'd wish to see, my personal favorite would be De Niro, to be honest, because he was quite a good villain, and as much as I dunk on Killers of the Flower Moon, Robert De Niro did a good job in it. Like he was one of those villains that you want to slap across the face.
Yes, exactly. Jan, what do you think?
This one is destined for Robert Downey Jr. Sensational performance in Oppenheimer, especially during the climax of the film. The rivalry between him and Oppenheimer was so fascinating to watch, and I'm so happy to see him. And also Mark Ruffalo for getting out of that MCU shenanigans, basically, because it's so happy to see. Look, for me, as much as I'm predicting Robert Downey Jr. to win it, I would love to see Mark Ruffalo getting a shout as well, because for Poor Things, I absolutely freaking love that movie. I love every single. For me, Poor Things was so close to be my favorite of the year. I think it was at some aspects it was better than Oppenheimer, in my opinion. And Mark Ruffalo was one of the best things about that movie. He is so funny in the movie. Like there were a few scenes. He was switching it to a 12 out of 10 every single scene, basically. So over the top. But anyway, back to Robert Downey Jr. It would be fully deserved for him as well to take home the statue. Fantastic performance in Oppenheimer. Ryan Gosling in Barbie, it's a very entertaining performance, but not one that I would consider an Oscar win as well. Robert De Niro, one of the greats. For me personally, he's in my top 3 actors of all time. And in Killers of the Flower Moon, he plays like, as Franco said, he's like a cynical asshole, completely so evil. He's so evil in the film. Like he's using the cop as a puppet on a string in that movie, and he's one of the best aspects in that movie, Killers of the Flower Moon. Killers of the Flower Moon, by the way, great movie. It's a bit too long, with 3.5 hours, but I was invested throughout the whole thing. But as much as Robert De Niro is a fantastic actor, I would love to see Robert Downey Jr. or Mark Ruffalo taking the statue. But if I would choose between Robert or Mark, I would go with Robert Downey Jr. I think that he has this in the bag for supporting actor.
I am quite certain Robert Downey Jr. is going to win it. Again, momentum is all with him. He's won pretty much every one of the awards. Although, Robert De Niro doesn't need another award. He's got enough awards on his shelves. But I agree with Franco that for me personally, Robert De Niro gives a fantastic performance. Actually, everyone gives a fantastic performance in this list. This is a really strong list of actors in a supporting role. But my personal favorite would also be Robert Downey Jr. in this. Great movie, but not for the cinema because 3 hours and a half in the cinema, I saw a lot of people almost falling asleep. so I agree. Talking about Killers of
I
the
saw
Flower
people fall asleep in Oppenheimer.
I don't know how you can sleep in Oppenheimer.
But
It's such a
I
loud
was
movie.
amazed, to be honest, because I was
Such a
like
loud
locked
movie.
in for the entire thing.
Apart from, like, let's say if you're not interested in Oppenheimer, I mean, I understand if you're not interested in it. It's such a loud movie that the movie won't let you sleep. Like, just how loud it is.
Because the sound is amazing in that movie.
Madonna. Amazing, but very loud. I don't know how people could sleep in Oppenheimer, but I saw people sleep in Oppenheimer as well. So it is what it is.
I think they slept because it was dialogue heavy. It's not like Inception or Dark Knight,
Yes.
for example. So that's why personally I think a lot of people fell
Yes,
asleep in
yes,
it.
yes, yes.
Me and my
Yeah.
brother, because I went to watch, I went to like the opening screening, I believe, at Eden. It was just me and my brother because my brother wants to watch this movie so badly. So we end up watching it. We end up watching it on that day. Yeah.
Now, Oppenheimer lacked the usual like Nolan action sequences. It was very dialogue based a lot, but it was still an engrossing drama. It's like
It's one of
again,
its best for me.
if you can manage, if he manages suspense. Ashley Peschel, I just wanted it to end, but it's not my style. Too much talking, but again, not my style. The Oppenheimer. No, I
Are
really
you
was
talking about Oppenheimer, Ash? Astra, not your style.
I
would have
think he's
imagined
talking
you
about
liked it.
Oppenheimer. Yeah.
I would assume Ashley would love Oppenheimer. I don't know why, but
No,
I'm
Ashley's the guy who likes Multageddon.
No way, yeah, man.
Ashley is never going to get over this. Like, that video will remain in history. Him and Bruce.
And Bruce, yes,
Ashley
yes.
loving Multageddon will
Yes.
forever be remembered. That
Can't get through
video
that
will
movie
never
as
be
well.
forgotten. I'm sorry, I couldn't get through Multageddon. I'm sorry, I couldn't get through it. I just couldn't.
I mean, you have
I can't get every single Maltese movie, to be honest with you.
no, you have to get yes, that's me. I think you also, to enjoy Multageddon, you have to have an enhanced experience if you get my
yeah,
You need to get drunk, I think, to watch that movie.
No,
100%.
not drunk.
Not
Not
just.
just.
That's not enough.
It's like watching The Room, man.
Multageddon is speak Maltese, you know.
Oh.
Ole.
Listen, if
Holy shit.
listen, we are the guys that were saying yes, we're gonna go watch Godzilla versus Kong, Godzilla and Kong. So there's that.
I watched the first one, yeah. So
Godzilla X Kong has like 200 million budget behind it of special effects.
Yes.
So there's that. Going back on topic, guys, because we're never going to end.
yeah.
No, look, Ashley, if there's a movie that needs to be done like very tongue in cheek but not trying to be funny at all, let's have it. Like I said, like I will pitch this. Like I wanted to do a fake trailer where Alfred Sant is a zombie killer.
I remember this one.
Yeah. So I maybe if I get people from the video nasties to do it, it would be a great fake trailer.
No, tongue in cheek is great. Like
Yeah.
White Lotus style of tone and like political commentary. Fantastic, right? But I mean, it needs to be done properly. You need to have good writers behind it.
Yes, for sure.
Essential. You need to have
Ashley is on it. Yeah,
he's on it.
طيب.
And Ashley started his acting career as well. So
okay.
Ashley, maybe you should start thinking about performance in that as well. I saw his ad. He was in an ad recently.
Yeah.
So moving on,
Anyway.
guys. Let's get. My dream is to make a real good buddy cop comedy set moto. I think a really good buddy cop comedy.
So remake Anjali.
Would be perfect for Maltese cinema. And no, jokes aside, I think a really good buddy cop comedy. You can get so much great humor from Maltese society for a buddy cop comedy. There is so much good humor and so much good political commentary you could put in that. So Ashley, you would have my full support for that. That would be a fantastic, fantastic idea. Maybe you could work with Bruce on that, Ash. I think that would work really well. It would work
But
really
good,
well.
but good, I said.
Not good. Yes, it's important to be good. Very important to be good. So back on topic, guys, because we got an actress in a leading role, and this is a very strong list of actors.
Very.
My prediction for this is Lily Gladstone for Killers of the Flower Moon.
Mhm.
My personal choice, however, would be Emma Stone. I think the things Emma Stone does in Poor Things are crazy good. We've come to enough about how good Emma Stone is in Poor Things. I think she does things I've never seen on cinema, to be honest. Jan, what do you think?
First things first, what a lineup. For me, this is the most stacked. Listen, I mean, obviously, it's going to be between Emma Stone and Lily Gladstone, but this is the most stacked lineup this year, without any debates whatsoever. Listen, as much I haven't watched Niad yet, but I've watched the rest of the rest of the actresses in the movies that are nominated. But to get to them very quickly, Carey Mulligan, best part about Maestro, completely unrecognizable in that film. For me, she drove a lot of most parts of that movie, in my opinion. I think she was amazing in that movie. I personally wanted Sandra Huller to win because in Anatomy of a Fall, because Sandra's had such a she had 2023 for her was absolutely crazy with
year,
this
banger year,
with this
banger
and the
year,
Zone of Interest, which by the way she should have been nominated for Best Supporting Actress as well in the Zone of Interest.
I
But
agree completely.
but in Anatomy of a Fall, her performance was so phenomenal. The authenticity she brought with that movie, it made Anatomy of a Fall so engrossing, so engaging, and if Lily and Emma weren't nominated, she would have been my number one choice easily. Emma Stone, fantastic in Poor Things. I think she's the best. Her best performance of her entire career, without any doubt. And listen, a character like Bella Baxter, this is such a risky character to portray, because you're not only dealing with the themes of the film, but she also has physical humor in the film. Like, you're basically playing a fully grown adult disguised. You're basically playing a toddler disguised as a fully grown adult, and the way she does, the way she acts when it came to those scenes, it was so impressive, so bizarre as well, and part of it why I loved Poor Things so much is because I have a bit of a soft spot when it comes to weird movies, and Poor Things was exactly my cup of tea, and even like Yorgos Lanthimos in particular, but we'll get to him very, very soon. But for me, as much as I want Emma or Sandra to win, my personal choice is Lily Gladstone, for the simple reason is that the first, she would make history by winning, the first indigenous person to take home the award, and even her in Killers of the Flower Moon, it was she was like the heart and soul of that entire movie. You felt so much sympathy for her, with every single scene she took part in, and you believed in her motives and what she resembles as well. I mean, she's basically resembling a nation that has been on the rope, that's continuously on the ropes in that entire movie. And for me, it was a phenomenal performance. One of the best of the year. It's so tough to pick this category. It's a very, very tough. But I would, since it would be her first Oscar and Emma has already won one before, I'm gonna go with Lily Gladstone for this one.
Franco, what do you think?
For sure. The thing is this: I have not seen Annette Bening in her film movie. Sorry.
Nihat have I.
I don't know. Annette Bening, she's really. I think I already said this. I don't know why Annette Bening is here when we saw someone else. Who was that? Madonna.
We watched something with her recently.
No, not with Annette Bening, but someone else. Someone else that could have been good in this. Like maybe Margot Robbie would have been good, like as a nomination, not really winning it.
Taking the, I would say, actress in a leading role. I'd say possibly Margot Robbie.
So
I don't know who was
that
left
that
out of
that
this
was
one.
that was a bit of a strange decision by the Academy. Personal favorite as well. I have two actually: Sandra Huller and Emma Stone. Kerry Mulligan, however, does make a good competition to Lily Gladstone, because I agree totally with what Jan said. She carries Maestro, but Lily Gladstone will obviously win it. Unfortunately, but
Greta
for
Lee Franco was left out. Greta
yes,
Lee.
yes, Greta Lee. That's the person I mentioned. Greta Lee.
What's the film?
Past Lives.
Past Lives. for
Oh, Past Lives. Oh, yeah, completely forgot about Past Lives. Great movie. Yeah, that one as well.
Um,
There was a mention of Tia No More as well, for Earth Mama. I haven't watched the movie, but I've
I
heard
haven't. I haven't either. Yes.
really good movie. I mean, I haven't watched the ad, so I can't comment about it. But from what I've heard, it's not great. It's not great. But
I have. By the
moving
way, again, thanks to Corridor Crew. So that is about a swimmer, right? Like she swims in the ocean. So apparently, they had to track the boat and Annette Bening swimming, um, uh, and then make all the water into CGI so that it would make like waves. It's like, why
No.
didn't you fucking film in a water tank to begin with? Jesus Christ.
So Ashley mentioned Emma Stone as his favorite to win,
Yeah.
and I think, personally, I would choose Emma Stone. I think the momentum is with Lily Gladstone, though, again because she won the SAG Awards and
for
SAG
her
Awards generally.
So Keith
Now,
said,
Keith,
and
go ahead, Franco.
Annette Bening was nominated for her physical transformation and what she had to endure for her swimming. Then again, the water was replaced with CGI. So what was the point of that physical
Weird
transformation?
decision,
I
really
wouldn't.
weird decision.
I wouldn't, to be honest. If Emma wins it, I would be very very happy if she wins as well because I loved her as much as Lily Gladstone. So I don't mind if Lily or Emma wins takes home the best actress statue. So yeah, that's pretty much it for best actress when it comes to.
Man, guys, let's hurry up because we're 1 hour 10 minutes in and we're still on actress in a supporting role. We
Oh
need to
yeah,
rush
wow.
So we've got actress in a supporting role. My choice here is Davine Joy Randolph for the holdovers. I would also choose Davine Joy Randolph. I think she is by far the best performance. Emily Blunt, I loved as well. Jan, what do you think?
Straight. This is nailed on for Davine Joy Randolph. Again, haven't watched the holdovers yet, so I'm planning to watch it this week. America Ferrera, I have no idea why she's nominated. If
Nope,
it's just for
neither.
if it's just for that monologue,
Worst part of the movie, in my opinion.
I liked Barbie, to be honest with you. I
liked
I
Barbie.
thought it was really good, but for me, she should have been nominated. I mean, it's a bit ludicrous. For me, if I would have chosen Emily Blunt because Emily Blunt, I think she's just as great as Robert Downey Jr. But this one is going to be nailed on for Davine Joy Randolph, and it would be fully deserved. Yeah.
Franco.
Same, Davine Joy Randolph. Haven't seen the holdovers yet. Surprise win will be America Ferrera, I would say rather. That would be a surprise. Maybe it will be a surprise win. Like
Allah Harris. Listen, I'd be happy with Danielle Brooks winning. She was fantastic in Color Purple.
Sorry
But
about that.
Allah Harris,
No, it's
America Ferrera. I mean, I like America Ferrera. Don't get me wrong. But I don't think she deserves it. Animated feature film.
Oh, lovely.
Franco, your choice.
I haven't seen most of them. Like I've only seen Across the Spider-Verse. The Mona will go through it since it's also available on YouTube. Robot Dreams as well. I think Hayao Miyazaki will get it now.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, I want Hayao Miyazaki to win because I didn't mention this in my very brief review of House Moving Castle, but I'm a humongous Studio Ghibli fan. I adore their movies. I think even more than Disney. So Boy and the Heron, I have yet to see it because I have no idea where on earth I can find this movie, either on cinema or online. So I am dying to see this movie. But I really want Hayao Miyazaki to take home this Oscar because it is fully deserved. He's a genius in the animation genre. I think he's the best of all time. His movies are therapy in my opinion. Most of their movies, but for me, I think Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is going to take this, and it would be deserved. Fantastic movie. Everything about that movie is flawless, apart from the ending, which I felt was
exactly.
rushed.
The ending
But
was
because it was so open-ended, and that's the only thing I disliked about that movie. But overall, I would pick Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Haven't seen Robot Dreams or Nimona. Elemental, not a big fan of, to be honest. That's
I
me.
watched Elemental. I liked it. I liked Elemental. I had a good time with
It's
Elemental.
not with the greats of Pixar's though. Let's be
No,
honest.
but I had a good time. I agree with Ashley and Datan as well. I mean, Spider-Man is definitely the favorite here, and I agree with you guys as well. Ashley, you mentioned Nimona. Did you like Nimona? I really liked Nimona. I'll be honest, if I had to put these in a list, I've watched all of them except for The Boy and the Heron, which isn't available in Malta so far. I'd put Spider-Man first, Nimona second, Robot Dreams third, Elemental fourth. Again, I liked all of them. Robot Dreams as well, very emotional animated film. I highly recommend it. No dialogue, actually, which is an interesting thing to mention because recently Denis Villeneuve got in some controversy because he mentioned he would like to make a movie without dialogue. But I would say Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is my personal choice and also what I think will win animated feature film. This I think we can skip, guys. We all know who's going to win. It's going to be Oppenheimer, right? Do we all agree?
Yes, agree with Oppenheimer. As much as I want Poor Things to win because of the wide eye fish, the wide fisheye lenses, Oppenheimer's taking this one. Yeah,
I think Oppenheimer deserves it as well. I thought it was a fun take on the the heart on the YouTube blocks the comment take on the story
class.
Yes, very much so. I think it really got delved very deeply into the class system element of it all and the way it tackled it and being different, right? The whole fun characters, good action. I agree completely. The action was really good in Nimona.
Okay.
The action was so good in it, and like Ashley said, the really fun characters. It's characters you enjoy watching on screen. I had a very good time watching Nimona. I give it a 4 out of 5. A very good time watching it. So we all agree cinematography is definitely going to be won by Hoyte von Hoytema. Not to say that the others don't have good cinematography. Just Oppenheimer is at another level. Costume design. Do we all agree on Poor Things? Anyone who disagrees?
I do, but apparently the favorite is Barbie.
Yeah, same here.
Okay.
No, not my personal favorite. My personal favorite is Poor Things, but
I would
the
have
favorite
assumed,
to win.
I would have assumed that Poor Things was the favorite as well here.
No, the favorite to win, according to Variety, at least, is Barbie. I don't know.
Okay, all right. Okay.
To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if Barbie take. Listen, it's not surprising that Barbie is nominated for best costume design because I mean, the amount of wardrobe changes in that movie is even the toys themselves. It's massive as well. But my personal choice is Poor Things because the costumes in that movie and even the production design, which we're gonna get to very very soon, breathtaking. And there's so much detail as well with every single costume. Yeah.
If Poor Things doesn't win production design, I will throw hands. For sure. I mean, come on.
And again, all these movies have very good costumes.
Poor Things deserves a lot of awards.
Yes, but I hope Poor Things wins. I'm going to predict Poor Things winning it.
Same here.
Although Barbie, obviously, I mean, Barbie also has very good costumes. So, but I think the costumes in Poor Things are essentially even as narrative devices as well. Seeing the development of
the visual symbol as well.
Very good, very much so. Directing, weird to put directing after costume, but that's the Oscars. So directing, I think we all agree on Nolan.
It seems alphabetical order. That's why
alphabetical order. All right.
Yeah, they
all
are
agree on Nolan.
Yes. I mean,
No,
listen,
Nolan will win it, but sorry, Justin Trier and Jonathan Glazer can hold their own. It's very...
Yes, but I feel
fantastic directors.
the Nolan year. This is the Nolan year. Let's be honest.
Listen, I would be very happy if Nolan wins. I mean, if Christopher Nolan is the director that got me into movies. I mean, when Inception came out, I was only like 12. I mean, I'm
Lalo.
20, I'm 25. I was only 12 years old. I was completely mesmerized by that movie.
That's
You know,
already.
it's-
Hold on, wait. Oh my God, wait.
What,
That's
14?
already. That's already 13 years old or 14
14 years old now.
years.
Jesus, man, that's massive. But anyways,
Way to make me feel old, Jan. Thank you.
yeah. So I'm getting older as well, but
Oh, 25.
25, well, yeah, but
Nolan.
I'm only go-
Nolan's winning this, 100%.
No. I would be so happy if he takes it, and it's fully deserved if he takes it because he's one of my all-time favorites. I mean, top. I would put him top 5 easily.
Mhm. With regard to documentary, I haven't watched any of these. Franco, you watched
Same here.
20 Days in Mariupol? I think that's the
wish-
favorite, right?
I think it's the favorite. Token Ukraine win. Hello there, General Grievous.
General Grievous. Hello there.
Please don't kill the Jedi, General Grievous.
General Kenobi.
Oh, Kenobi.
That's
Sorry.
a nice little collection of Jedi lightsabers.
Yeah.
I think 20 Days is winning this in Mariupol. I think it's quite clear.
Yeah,
It's the most topical. and
it's a token Ukraine win. I mean, it's a good. Don't get me wrong, excellent movie. Harsh reality. But yeah, I mean, we are speaking about the Oscars here, so
Mhm. Short film we won't comment about because we haven't watched any of those. Film editing. Next up. I think again, we all
Oppenheimer.
agree on Oppenheimer here, right? The editing in Oppenheimer is just crazy good.
General
Dune
Grievous
Part 2
is
is
definitely.
definitely a masterpiece. Yes,
And
General Grievous. After we finish our Oscar predictions, we're going to get into our reviews, and Dune will be our main review. So you'll hear our thoughts about it then. But welcome, General Grievous. Thank you for your comments, and hope you're enjoying your time here. So film editing, we all agree, right? Oppenheimer. I mean, the editing in it
Yes,
is
it's nailed on this one.
fantastic. Internationally feature film. I have watched all of these except for Perfect Days, which I still have not found the time to watch. Trying to watch it this week. Franco, your prediction for this one?
Zone of Interest.
I agree.
And if not this one, even sound design. Zone of Interest should get sound design, hands down.
What do you think, Jan?
Need to say my voice, by the way, for my Dune Part 2 review, but just to get to this quick, Zone of Interest. If it was a couple of weeks ago, I would say Society of the Snow, but Zone of Interest is a phenomenal movie. The sound design in that movie, as Franco said, brilliant, unique, and for me, it's in the bag for best international feature film. It's a film. Zone of Interest is a movie that has to be watched by many people, but unfortunately, not a lot are going to watch this movie. Sadly enough, because in Malta, I don't think it's available in Malta.
No, it's still not available in Malta.
No, it's not available in Malta. Then
they're gonna, but I think the St. James is gonna show it.
Creative. Okay. Yeah, Zone of Interest. This one easily.
Sorry, guys, but I have a slight suspicion that Jerry Grievous is actually Denis Villeneuve saying that it's a masterpiece.
Masterpiece. And
ADM,
ADM as well. I think you want to say masterpiece.
Masterpiece, yes.
Yeah, but I think all these films are fantastic films. Like Io Capitano, I had a very good time watching. Society of the Snow, brilliant, but I agree, Zone of Interest should win it. Even The Teacher's Lounge, by the way, it's a fantastic movie. I highly recommend checking it out, especially if you're interested in the education system, what the teacher goes through. That's a fantastic watch. Makeup and hairstyling, I think, do we all agree on Poor Things?
Yep.
I think we all agree.
I agree, but don't rule out Maestro.
True.
Don't rule out Maestro, but
Yes.
but for me, Poor Things has this one, yes, as well.
My personal choice is Poor Things. Who I think will win is Poor Things. Maestro, I think, is up there as well, however, with regard to being a favorite. Franco?
Yeah. Same, agreed.
Yeah, so that's makeup and hairstyling. Next up, Music original score. I think again we all agree on Oppenheimer. Ludwig Göransson, right? He's got it in the bag, and very well deserved as well.
And do check out his variety video on YouTube because it's a very interesting behind the scenes of how he scored Oppenheimer and the tempo changes, how he managed to get the orchestra to follow the tempo changes.
Can you hear the music has been on my playlist?
Yes,
my
yes.
playlist for daily. It's such a fantastic score. I mean,
Hold on, where's Godzilla? That's special effects.
that's visual effects. That's visual effects.
Because it could have gone into original score instead of
Yes,
Indiana Jones.
very
hold
good.
on.
Don't give me. I haven't
You
watched
have to have
Godzilla
John
minus one.
Williams.
Illa
You have to
lo-
have John Istra. Okay.
I haven't watched it. No.
Jan, you missed the cinema experience. Ash.
I'm not a big fan of Godzilla, to be honest.
No. But forget American Godzilla. Japanese Godzilla is the.
Yeah, the Japan know how to make movies. It's not just Godzilla.
Japanese
Godzilla
Godzilla.
-1.
Japanese Godzilla is Godzilla.
So music we're agreed on. Original song. I've heard all of them. I think, in my opinion, my favorite song is What Was I Made For? Goatzilla. Goatzilla. I think What Was I Made For is the best song. I'm a big Billie Eilish fan.
Same
Sue
here.
me, I don't care. I love Billie Eilish and Phineas and her brother. What Was I Made For is just a fantastic song. I think it's a very important part of the storytelling in Barbie as well, and the final conclusion of the whole. Very emotional as well. I think it should win, and I think it will win as well. What do you think, guys? Jan?
As much as I want I'm Just Can't win because of the memes, this one is going to go to What Was I Made For. Billie Eilish is a phenomenon. She is at such a young age, she's one of she's one of the most talented singers, and even her lyrical composition, she's one of the best in the business. And at her age, I mean, how old is she? She's in her 20s. She's definitely in her 20s. But like to win already two Oscars in her bed, it's impressive stuff.
Ashley wants I'm Just Ken to win. I mean, listen,
he's gonna perform.
Listen, I love that Just Ken.
It's on my playlist. I love
I'm Just Ken.
But the emotions, I think the emotions from What Was I Made For were so powerful, man. So powerful. So it's perfect song for that movie. Franco, your prediction?
Apparently What Was I Made For is gonna win, but again, surprise, I'm Just Ken might get it as well, huh?
It could be a big surprise. I'm just Ken. It could be like a big surprise, especially considering how much money Barbie made. The Oscars aren't below like going for the popular choice at times, and I think
depends how much Mattel is lobbying the Academy.
True. But I think even What Was I Made For is Barbie as well. But I think it's the better song in my opinion as well, and more like as much as I'm Just Ken is an important narrative element of the story, I think What Was I Made For is just the climax of the movie. Such a powerful moment. We're going to skip Best Picture. We'll leave that for last. Production design. Now I've got Poor Things. I think we all agree on Poor Things, right? We're right if that doesn't win.
Flawless production design, in my opinion, Poor Things. It's one of it's one of the major aspects why the movie, for me, in my opinion, is a masterpiece. I can see people sue me whatever I want, but for me, the production design, Poor Things, has to have this one in the back.
Ashley says Jack Black should have been nominated.
I agree completely. As much as I didn't like
Peaches.
I think Peaches was such a. It's not just a popularity thing. It's just how much. I don't know how to describe it, but it's just some. I think it's the best part of the movie, from a movie that I personally did not like. I think Peaches was the best part of that movie.
I mean, it's nomination, so.
Very humorous, good humor, and again, I haven't watched Flamin' Hot, so I can't comment about that. And I haven't watched American Symphony either, to be fair. But I have heard the song, so I think Peaches should be there. I think Peaches should definitely be there. So production design, we're all agreed on. Animated short film, I don't think we've watched any of them. Live action short film, we haven't watched any of them either. Actually, I've watched Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar.
Same here. I was actually going to talk about that. Yeah.
It was great. I love The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar. You liked it, yeah?
For me, yes. For me, it's vintage. It's vintage Wes Anderson. For me, Asteroid City didn't even came close to it in my opinion. Asteroid City was in my opinion a very disappointing film coming from Wes Anderson. So yeah, you agree with me on this one, Franco. No, Henry Sugar for me that's Wes Anderson at his peak.
Yeah, it's at this.
And even his other one stuff, but I think Poison was the one that came a bit close to Henry Sugar, but I want this one to win. Yeah, I would be very happy
Yes,
if this one takes it.
And fantastic by Benedict Cumberbatch. Fantastic performance by Cumberbatch. He was great. Sound. Now, sound is where we're going to disagree. Got to go. Had fun. We'll tune in the next one. Thanks, Ash.
Thank you,
Good night,
Ashley,
Ash.
and
Thanks
good
for
night.
joining us.
Take
Hope you had
care,
a good
Ash.
time. With regard to sound, we're going to disagree, I think, on this because you guys are going to go with zone of interest. Am I right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So my personal choice for sound, I think would still be Oppenheimer. As much as I love the zone of interest, but I think the sound in Oppenheimer is
It's a fair choice. I mean,
beyond good.
I might go for
Prediction and personal choice.
Oppenheimer, keeping it in the family.
no, I'm still sticking with Zone of Interest. Though.
No. I'm zone of interest, but I was joking because there's a Rizzo in there, so there's that.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you saw.
Yep.
So, who are you choosing, Jan?
Zone of Interest, because the way the way sound was incorporated in that movie was just unique.
Franco, you going with Oppenheimer or
No, zone of interest. Like I was only joking about Oppenheimer. Zone of interest. Sound is an essential part of that movie, and it really makes it.
I'll go. My personal choice would also be Oppenheimer. Zone of interest being a very close second. Prediction is Oppenheimer will win this. However, I think Oppenheimer will have this in the bag as well. Although Zone could take it as well. Visual effects. Now, this one, I'm interested to hear your thoughts. My personal choice here is The Creator, which I think is also the favorite to win it. Franco, what do you think?
I was going to go the same, The Creator, but the Academy might go for Godzilla -1.
Okay. Jan.
I think Godzilla -1 has this. I mean, I'm just from this. I haven't. Even The Creator, I haven't watched. Yes, I've missed a lot of movies last year. I think Godzilla has this. I have no idea why Napoleon is nominated, by the way.
They had good visuals, I think. Napoleon wasn't a good movie.
No. For me, it was very disappointing. I'm waiting for the extended cut.
Visually, I think the CGI and the battle sequences, I think, was objectively very good, in my opinion. Just for the battle scene. For the battle scene in Napoleon. I think the visuals were very good in Napoleon.
And the pyramids exploding.
Pyramids exploding, as you do.
I think Godzilla has this, though. I think Godzilla's going to take it.
I disagree. I think The Creator's visuals were next level. I think we all know who's winning the visuals next year, though. Right.
For me, but before you get to writing, it is criminal that Oppenheimer is nominated there.
For writing?
For visual effects. For visual
effects. That's an interesting discussion. It wasn't even nominated in the top 20, yeah? Top 20 movies.
Nah, that's criminal.
The top 20.
The Trinity test sequence alone wins it, in my opinion.
I don't know how it wasn't at least in the top 20.
But apparently,
there was Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. Jihil Madonna.
Way up.
Jihil Madonna. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania was in the top 20.
The reaction is
I mean,
but interestingly enough, Jan, the test sequence, as suspenseful as it was, visual effects artists immediately realized that it was a gas explosion, not a nuclear explosion.
Yes, but the fact that they didn't use CGI and not just in the Trinity sequence, but in the entire film as well. It's impressive stuff, man. I mean, I was very pissed off, to be honest, that they got nominated. But anyways, that's the Academy for you. Not surprised. So yeah.
No, no.
Adria, I think it's best if we go directly to the best picture because time is of
Here we
the
go.
essence.
I'm
Yeah,
just going to
yeah.
say zone of interest for writing adapted screenplay and
Same.
writing original screenplay is Anatomy of a Fall.
Agreed.
All right, all right.
I would go with that. It's the best picture, and then we have to sprint through our reviews, like literally sprint. Where's best picture?
You
No,
skipped it.
you skipped it. Keep going down.
There you
There
go.
you go. There you go.
Best picture, Mela. What do you think, guys? Who's winning best picture? Yeah.
Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer. Oh, I mean,
Oppenheimer. If he wins best director, he wins best picture. So yeah, the only film that I wanted to win as much as Oppenheimer, it's Poor Things, but it's not. It's Oppenheimer. That
Yeah.
for me is going to be
Agreed.
the one.
Agreed, Franco.
yeah, you'd be surprised though. I mean, like last time, what was it? Best director. Like for example, with Barbie, you give best film, but then not best director. So
Be
what's
right back in a
happening
second, guys.
All right.
here?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, all right.
No, I think Oppenheimer has this in the bag. I think Oppenheimer is the movie of
It's
2023.
it's not the hands down the favorite.
Yep.
Anyway,
And with that, viewers and listeners in the chat, those are our Oscars predictions. We'll have a look next week to see who got the most right. And with that, let's move into our reviews. We've got a review first off for Femme. Then
Yep.
we've got a review for Spaceman, review for Lisa Frankenstein, Parallel, and then Dune Part 2. Franco, we're going to have to rush through these because I don't want to be here
sure
with our
thing.
viewers as well more than 2 hours. So, Franco, let's
Yep.
start off. First of all, let me bring it up on the screen with Femme.
So,
Your thoughts?
So, guys, if you want to see the full review, you can follow us on Letterboxd. I'm Maltese Falcon 87. There's Andrea Gravina as well on Letterboxd. So,
And Diane as well has his letterboxd as well.
yep. So, Femme is a very sexy LGBTQ movie. I said that straight erotic thrillers have been lackluster as of late when this blows them out of the water by miles ahead, not just in eroticism, but also in execution and thematic depth. It's a very tight, tense movie, very anxious. It keeps you on the edge of your seat. I saw one review which said that this is gay good time if you watch Good Time or Uncut Gems. But as far as thematic depth, it really goes like you have to see like when someone like gives this sort of front of a strong person and then he doesn't want to show his vulnerability, and George McKay really portrays that to a T. Very great performances by George McKay and also Nathan Stewart Jarrett. This I think these two performances should also be mentioned as very risky performances as well, in the sense that they go into certain intimate scenes which like really go there. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. I enjoyed watching it. Great cinematography, very lush colors and those neon colors. It's not, you keep switching sympathies as well. It's not just
Okay.
because and it's not a question. There are some movies where saying that this is all about gay bashing, and there's also the victim. Are they are a victim, but at the end, how the way that they deal with what they've gone through, is it the right way? It's very nuanced. It's very nuanced. It gives great empathy to the character of George McKay. Watch it, guys. Tell me what you think. I'm gonna let you then up to. Okay.
Definitely. So that's fun. Next up, I'm going to review Spaceman really quickly, starring Adam Sandler and Kerry Mulligan, and also Spider Paul Dano. Yeah, this is an interesting one. Spaceman, it's a science fiction drama film. The director is Johan Renck, written by Colby Day. It's actually based on a book also called Spaceman of Bohemia by Jaroslav Kalfar. Basically, the story is simple enough. We got this astronaut, Commander Jakub Prochaska, who is obviously Adam Sandler. He is 6 months into his commercial mission as he's investigating this kind of like cloud. It's called the Chopra cloud, which is this dust that kind of forms beyond Jupiter. In the movie, we see Adam Sandler struggling with his loneliness. He's been obviously away from people for a very long time, and he misses his wife, Lenka. Lenka, who reminded me of your cat, Franco.
Leica.
Your cat, Yelka. Lenka. And unfortunately, his wife, Carey Mulligan, who is, I think she's had a 2023 and now 2024 with troublesome husbands in movies, of course, recently stopped talking to him. And the reason being is that her husband, Adam Sandler, left for his mission right before she was going to give birth to her daughter, right when she was pregnant, basically. And obviously that led to tension between them. So Lenka sends him a message about basically wanting to leave him. However, the team behind Adam Sandler basically stopped the message from getting to him because they don't want him to get depressed, right, as he's going to reach the peak of his mission. And interestingly enough, then suddenly Spider Paul Dano appears and starts to become Adam Sandler's psychiatrist, basically, as Adam Sandler expresses his loneliness and his depression he's feeling on his own. And Spider Paul Dano helps him with his loneliness, basically. It's a weird one. It's an interesting one. It's a very contemplative drama. I was actually quite impressed by the visuals. I thought the visuals were very well done. Even some CGI was very good. I actually liked the tone as well, the tone that is set very early on. However, the whole concept of a spider being a psychiatrist to Adam Sandler was just a bit too ridiculous for myself to like really enjoy this movie fully. Unfortunately, the movie is also quite boring as well, which is definitely not going to make it a hit with your usual, your random person scrolling through Netflix and pressing on Spaceman thinking they're going to watch Netflix Inception, and they do get Netflix Inception, in fact, with Spaceman, and as you can see in the ratings here, giving it probably a 5.5 out of 10. And I agree, it's quite boring. And I like my contemplative dramas, mind you, but this just isn't very strong. The central performance by Adam Sandler is solid. I think Sandler gives a solid performance. And I will say it is, I think I wrote this down on my letterbox, it's a glorious swing and a miss. But it's still a glorious swing. I'm glad it's been made, and I'm happy for the attempt. I actually got into it because I love the composer of the soundtrack, Max Richter. He's one of my favorite composers.
Oh, okay.
The soundtrack is decent, not Richter's best, to be honest. I'm a big Max Richter fan. But it's a glorious swing and a miss. But it's the kind of movies I hope Netflix try and make more. It's very contemplative. It's very slow, very thought-based, emotions centered around emotions and strong themes. I am teetering between a 2.5 and a 3 for this one. I'm going to go, I think, with the 2.5. I don't know. If you're a fan of these like contemplative dramas, maybe give it a go. It wasn't one I enjoyed, though. I could appreciate the craft behind it, however. So a 2.5 for Spaceman. Franco, shall we get into Lisa Frankenstein next?
Yes, Lisa Frankenstein with what's her name? There's Corey Sprouse as oh my god, wait, Cole Sprouse as the undead, and there's also, just a second, let me make sure that I said his name right. So Catherine Newton. I really like Lisa Soberano. She was so sweet in this movie, and it's like very, very pretty. I think that's Cole Sprouse, right? Why is he not in there? So basically, anyway, Lisa Frankenstein, a coming of age love story.
Cole Sprouse, Franco, yeah.
Okay, awesome. So a coming of age love story about a teenager and her crush who happens to be a corpse. After a set of horrific circumstances bring him back to life, the two embark on a journey to find love, happiness, and a few missing body parts. So, Despite the promising premise, it felt this movie felt a bit aimless. It's like it didn't know what it wanted to be, whether it wanted to be a black comedy, whether it wanted to be a coming of age story, whether it wanted to be those kind of black humor 80s comedy like 16 Candles. If anyone in the chat knows what I'm talking about, 16 Candles. I feel like in this case, Bottoms did a better job with to handle those notes and of being unserious. You know, you don't have to take this movie seriously. That said, it was a breezy watch, nothing to be taken too seriously, especially with its campiness. Like it's a very camp movie, and I think the colors were also great. I really like the colors used in this movie, and an excellent soundtrack. The cast seems to be having fun doing this movie. Cole Sprouse, I really sympathized with Cole Sprouse's character, especially for someone who only speaks at the very end of the movie. Yeah, I think this is a movie where you put it on, you don't want to think about it. There's some good jokes here and there. It's not Diablo Cody's best. 3 out of 5.
Okay, 3 out of 5 for Lisa Frankenstein. I wanted to check it out this week, Frankostra, but I just there are days where I just need a break from movies sometimes.
Yeah. No, it's I mean, yeah, it's a movie where you go switch off Lisa Frankenstein.
So we'll try and check it out this week. Parallel, Franco, go for it.
Now, this is interesting, because as you see, IMDb is giving it 4.6, which is, I feel, extremely harsh. Extremely harsh of a rating, because I felt this was a very decent effort for the budget that this movie has. I have a bit of a bias, obviously, because I'm a sucker for multiverse and time loop movies. So, and I was very generous of giving this movie 4 out of 5. So let's say this right out of the bat. But on my letterbox, I said I gave this 4-star because I'd like to encourage studios to invest more in these kind of movies because they take a risk. And even though there's flaws on this movie, there are some also janky effects as well. There's also one moment where like, why would they have this thing in the cellar? I won't spoil it. But this movie is 77 minutes long, so it doesn't overstay its welcome. That's already one pro. Another pro that it's not just another multiverse movie, it also explores the themes of guilt and loss. And some moments generally send shivers down my spine because you get to see all these possibilities of different lives you could have spent with your husband, with your husband's brother, and what could have been. To the point that even the ending was quite bittersweet, and it opened itself up to a whole new set of moral quandaries. Now, like I said, I do believe that the creators are aware of this movie's flaws, but the efforts are done in earnest. Do check it out, guys. Fuck the IMDb rating. There said it. I gave it a 4 out of 5. I felt generous because this was between a 3.5 and a 4. If you're into multiverse and with more of a dramatic tension underneath as well, do watch this. And again, just forget the budget that it has. It's a very decent effort.
Okay, so four, right, Franco?
Yes, 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5 for Parallel. Check it out. With that, guys, we've got 10 minutes for our Dune review. So, Jan, you can start us off. Actually, I'm just going to introduce the story really quickly, Jan, and then get into your thoughts.
Yeah, no problem.
So, Dune Part 2 obviously explores the journey of Paul Atreides. He unites with Shani and the Fremen, and they're on a warpath of revenge against the Harkonnen, who obviously had destroyed the Atreides family. Facing a choice between the love of his life and the fate of the known universe, he endeavors to prevent a terrible future only he can foresee. So, Jan, you've watched Dune Part 2. What were your thoughts?
Yes, I watched it yesterday morning at Embassy. You know that scene in Succession, where Kendall Roy is basically walking into the server room, and his face starts to basically from happy starts to turn sad and stuff like that. Basically, no, that scene, that was me walking out of Dune Part 2, basically, because
Back to reality.
it's back to reality sort of, because I mean, over the years we've had these pantheon of epics like Lord of the Rings, the Star Wars OG trilogy, The Matrix, Mad Max Fury Road. And this movie belongs in that category. It is straight away. It improves over the first one in every way. I mean, it's basically how a sequel should be, because the first part one was all about the world building, was all about introducing the audience, especially for those who have never read a novel, like me, for example, to this universe, to the characters, to what to expect. One of the universe it's about to bring in, basically. And part two, it's exactly that. Sorry, by the way, if you're listening to some shouting, that's my cat, by the way. So, because he's like 17 years old, and during this time, he just starts to go he just goes batshit crazy for some apparent reason. But anyways, this one, it's more epic in scale, more action, even, I mean, everything about this movie. It is spectacular, and in my opinion, flawless. In terms of sequels, it's one of the greatest I've ever seen. Because in terms of even how it's paced, yes, the first half, it is a bit slow, but you can see why it's slow, because it's all about Paul getting to learn the ways of the Framer, for example. So obviously, if you haven't watched part one, do yourself a favor and go watch part one, because this is essential to watch the first one before watching
Best movie of
this
2021.
one. Sorry.
The best movie of 2021, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
even for me personally, it was. And it basically improves everything upon the first. It's the development of the characters is justifiable. The romance between Paul and fuck what.
And Shani?
What's Shani?
Shani,
Thank
Shani.
you. No, I forgot. 1 second. It's believable, and even in the second half, we get introduced more to the Harkonnens, Austin Butler's character, for instance, which, by the way, super performance, so scary, so aggressive with his character. I just loved every single second of this movie, man. The action scenes, they're grandiose. The cinematography is breathtaking. The wide shots, in particular, every single time then he goes to a wide shot alongside Greg Fraser's cinematography, it's breathtaking stuff.
Orgasmic stuff.
Sorry,
Orgasmic
it's
stuff.
orgasmic stuff. Yes, it is.
These people made Sand look interesting, basically.
Yeah.
Even just like it makes you wholly immersed to this universe. It makes you literally this morning. For those who don't know, by the way, my part-time job is at Vibe FM, and we're writing articles, basically, and I wrote one today about what if humans actually if Arrakis was a real planet, do humans survive in this planet or not? And in reality, they do survive. But the thing is that it makes it very, very difficult because of the extreme conditions and stuff like that. But
like, listen, with all this dust and Malta, we're getting there. Eh? So
yeah, I mean, with climate change, we're getting there as well. But let's not go out of point with that one as well. With this point as well. But it makes you feel the universe that Denis Villeneuve has made here, has constructed more like it. It's so immersive. It is believable. It makes you. It makes you feel like you're there in this universe. And going back to Denis Villeneuve, just a couple of points to wrap the things up. He's just one of the best in the business, Denis Villeneuve. And part two, I think, I mean, Blade Runner 2049 and this are very, very close. The margins between this and Blade Runner are very, very close to being Denis' best film to date. Because it's how a sequel should be. It's this movie is almost 3 hours long, and it feels like 30 minutes. I'm not even joking.
Okay, so we have someone who disagrees with us. Guys, boring as hell movie, not faithful. Now, the fact that it's
I
not
disagree.
faithful
I'm
to the
sorry.
book, there are some elements which are changed, like the Shani, for example.
But the thing is,
let him explain. TR233.
sorry.
So he said it's not a good adaptation to the book. Now, I understand there are some elements which are completely different. For example, Paul's sister. Paul's sister should be born.
Yes.
And actually, Paul's sister is the person who kills the Duke Harkonnen. And Paul's sister is batshit crazy. Crazy. So there's that, which is different. I know some other differences. The Shani relationship was different as well.
Wait. Did Ethan watch Dune or not?
Yes, he watched it today.
Okay.
I disagree that it is boring. I think it is a powerful
fight.
Powerful cinema experience. I think it's a masterclass. Dragging exposition to I disagree that it's dragging. I disagree completely. Yes, there is some necessary exposition.
We're not talking about Killers of the Flower Moon here, okay?
Oy.
You didn't like that movie, Franco. Let me ask you a question.
I slept at the Martin Scorsese.
But let's try and stick to Dune because we have 5 minutes left, guys. What else, Jan? Do you want to?
No. Wrapping things up. The thing is, it's impossible to make it exact like the novel, like to be faithful, 100% faithful to the novel. So you need to be watch out for with regards to that as well. But overall, masterpiece, 5 out of 5 without question. This movie. I have to obviously see it again because I only watched this movie once, so I have to see it at least 2 more times to see it. What's wrong?
No, because TR233 said that the first 2 hours you fight for yourself not to go to sleep. And then Ethan said dragging. Watch Killers of the Flower Moon because I wasn't the biggest fan of Killers of the Flower Moon.
No, but the thing is, I have to obviously see Lord of the Rings again and those movies I've mentioned in that level to see if this movie is actually better than those. I like it, I prefer it, but masterpiece. Denis Villeneuve is a genius. Long live him, and also major shout out to Stilgar, because I'm so.
Stilgar.
He's the best, man.
As it was written.
What deep?
And guys, did you like the humor? Was so good. The small bits of humor from Stilgar.
There were some good bits of humor, especially, yeah. TR233, are you a fan of Lord of the Rings? However, this would be interesting to see.
Those Fremen getting into ships. Oh, come on, Fremen know how to fight
in space.
I don't know how it is with the book. Paul didn't make a speech to motivate Fremen. I think the Paul speech was one of the best moments of the movie. I think that was the crowning moment where I was like, Chalamet is one of the best actors right now. Go ahead, Franco.
I'm going to. He's a fan of Lord of the Rings. Sure. Are you a fan of Lord of the Rings, though? Here's the thing. I know I'm going to contradict myself. Sometimes the movie is to capture the spirit of the book, which is okay. Lord of the Rings is a masterpiece. Interesting to hear that.
Because then Lord of the Rings, there were lots of big changes from the books as well. There were lots and lots of big changes from Lord of the Rings, the book. I'm crazy about the books and crazy about the movies, but there are big changes.
Like Tom Bombadil doesn't feature anywhere.
The elves appearing in the Battle of Helm's Deep. There are lots of, but they are necessary to create the narrative of the movie because the movie is an adaptation.
Yeah, I think
word for word.
I think the spirit of Dune is captured. If I read the Dune book, I'd say, okay, the spirit is there, especially with what he tried to do, which I'm going to go into my commentary about this movie, which I liked best. I really like those. It has thematic depth as well, especially with the fact that, like, is this fundamentalism or is this leadership? Is this, especially because he did her dirty at the end, Paul, Shani.
Yes, that's why I said Shani, I think, is the emotional core of this movie.
Okay, not overburdened. Estra, okay. I think TR233 also maybe could have been like this is because I hate when they say, oh, this is like the Two Towers. I understand the comparison, but Two Towers is Two Towers. Dune is Dune.
No, I understand the comparison though, Franco. It's more like considering Fellowship of the Ring is quite slow. I adore Fellowship of the Ring. But it's a build-up, right? You're getting to know the characters, and then
a lot of people. A lot of
Yes.
people are saying this as the modern day Empire Strikes Back.
Yes, I would agree more with
I mean,
modern day
mm,
Empire
Yeah,
Strikes
even
Back,
me.
though.
Same here as well.
Yes, Dune 3 will happen.
Yes,
TR2
Dune
3.
3, Dune
It's,
Messiah will definitely happen. With the
happen.
money it's making, it made 182.5 million worldwide. That's the second most successful opening weekend since Barbie, basically. Dune 3 is definitely happening, but it's going to take a while because Villeneuve has other plans, has another movie first before it. Unless Warner Brothers give him a lot of money, tell him, please, Denis, give us another Dune. We'll give you as much money as you want. To be fair, the budget for this was big, 190 million, but you could see it on the screen, right, Franco?
Yes. I think for me, oh man, that's sucks for you, TR223. We're waiting it.
I'm so hyped for the next Dune.
Yeah. There's also Megalopolis to look forward to as well.
Yes, yes. No, there's still some good stuff this year. For Rios, I'm really looking forward to as well. But any negatives,
No doubt.
I have to say, I kind of slightly agree with TR233, and that was one of my thoughts on the movie. My rating is a 5 out of 5, to be clear. But some elements of the ending did feel slightly rushed.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Like part one as well.
Like the fight between Paul and
Beautiful.
fight
beautiful,
but
beautiful lighting, but felt a bit rushed, as was the battle between Thanos or Josh Brolin and
Very
Drax.
significant as well. It's Josh.
I loved the fight. I mean, I loved Josh Brolin walking in with the flames behind him.
Oh,
What
man,
did
every
T11
scene.
say?
Sorry.
What is the chat? Because I'm not seeing
he
the
said,
chat, basically.
"Oh man, that sucks." the fact that there will be a Dune 3. That's what made us laugh so much. He's like, "Oh man, that sucks." But yeah, I mean, all of these scenes that we're mentioning, we still haven't mentioned the whole Geddy Prime scene.
Oh my god!
With the gladiator scene, and then Austin Butler with Lea Seydoux.
That moment I was talking about.
It's
spectacular.
Goosebumps. Even the fireworks looked creepy in that scene. It's like, what the fuck are those fireworks?
They're like paint, right?
The movie is
Paint,
filled.
yeah.
The movie is filled with so many holy shit moments. Like literally, like the Katie Prime sequence, for instance, the final battle as well. There were so many shots. I was whispering like that completely. Yeah.
Even I wouldn't say it's flawless. It's flawless.
No,
bro,
it's
yeah.
not flawless. The ending felt rushed.
There was
some
was a-
pacing issues midway through, I would say,
Yes.
here and
Yes.
there. I agree on that. Still a 5 out of 5 for me. 5 out of 5 doesn't mean perfect. 5 out of 5 means
it's right.
it's a master, and every masterpiece has its issues.
highly recommendable. The worm sequences when
The worm sequence. I was just like, oh my god. That scene was just breathtaking.
when they attack the
Hans Zimmer's
Sankar.
score as well.
The score, not as strong as the first Dune score, I would say. Not as powerful as the first Dune score,
That sound,
in my
that
opinion.
sound, and even the music itself.
Hot take. I didn't like much the soundtrack in Dune Part 1. It's good, but it's not my style. It was too much.
loved Dune. You prefer this, Franco?
Now this was much. There was much.
No,
it
no,
was
I
much
prefer the
developed.
Dune. However, in Dune Part 1, it was overbearing. I was discussing with Tetan this morning, in fact. I felt the soundtrack was amazing in Dune Part 1, but very overbearing.
Yeah, exactly.
Here, it was used sporadically and at the right moments.
Yes.
If I had to choose a soundtrack to listen to, I would choose Dune Part 1, though, to listen to, in my opinion.
I can still remember some of the moments. I can still remember is when he uses the voice like silence,
abomination.
and, exactly.
Oh, so strong.
and a very quotable line is, "You out of all people should know that there are no sides." That is such a great. It's because you start seeing also, like, first you think the Bene Gesserit are some like side characters, but they're the ones.
At the center, not at the center, at the side, but controlling everyone, right?
Yes.
However, Paul seems to have backfired for them now. They
Yes.
kind of lost control of Paul because Rebecca Ferguson, Lady Jessica, is now taking control with her manipulation of the Fremen, and basically that has led to Paul becoming this messianic figure for the
Mm.
Fremen, and obviously leading now to the events of Dune Messiah, where heavy spoilers. I'm not going to give any specific, but the things that are going to happen to Paul and to his family in Dune Messiah are batshit crazy, and it's going to be epic, beyond epic proportions. We're talking billions here, not millions, billions here in Dune Messiah. The cast was absolutely insane. I mean, this is, I think, the movie that crowns Chalamet, Zendaya, Austin Butler. Rebecca Ferguson doesn't need it, but these young actresses and actors like
Zendaya as
Chalamet,
well.
Florence Pugh,
Florence
Zendaya,
Pugh.
as
I
these
forgot them.
big powerhouse actors who will have us going to the cinema to watch Austin Butler, to watch Chalamet, to watch Florence Pugh, to watch Zendaya. Seeing them in this movie, this tentpole movie, I think crowns them as the present and the future of cinema, in my opinion, of Hollywood. These four actors are going to be at the center of it all. And Austin Butler, so good to see him in a very different role to what I've seen him in Masters of the Air. He's great in Masters of the Air. He's great in Elvis, but here, completely different performance, and beautiful stuff. Anything else you wanted to add, guys?
No, just go. Don't give. Don't listen to TR223. Enjoy Lord of the Rings.
I respect everyone's views. TR233. Obviously, it's your perspective. It's your view. I respect it. Much love. You can like or dislike whatever movie you want. You've backed it with your thoughts and said why, which I respect. Obviously, I clearly disagree with you, but that's why we love movies, right?
No. That's the.
We are all free to have our
this
completely subjective, exactly.
No,
So only love from us.
Oh, obviously we're joking. You made us laugh, actually.
Yes, it's good. You know, it's good to have. I wish we could have had someone on here who didn't love.
No, it's true. I mean, because there are some moments. There were some people said like it's overwhelming, especially with the details and whatnot. This one, so there are some points which we can give to TR233. But this is for me. This is a movie. You know, like Andrea says, made for me. Like even the credits said this was made for Andrea and Franco and Jan.
Exactly. Franco, your rating, because Jan mentioned 5, I mentioned a 5. Franco, 5, right?
5. Yeah.
This is why we go to the cinema. This is why we love cinema. This when I left the cinema, I told my family, I was like, this is the reason why I enjoy watching movies. Like, I love slow contemplative dramas. I love those kinds of movies. But we need our Dune Part 2s. We need our epic, epic cinema, massive battles, charismatic characters and actors. We. This is why we love cinema, right, guys?
One of the best cinematic experiences I've ever been to, by the way,
100%.
without question.
100%. And waiting for it to be released on Blu-ray now to watch it on my.
I'm intrigued to see what Dune Messiah, by the way, because I obviously haven't read the novels, but Dune Messiah, it looks batshit crazy, yeah.
I'm going to get onto Dune Messiah next. I'm not going to wait like I did with this one. I'm getting onto Dune Messiah because I really want to see what happens. All right, guys, with that, we can conclude the podcast for today. Solid 2 hours. Thank you to
Jan.
our viewers and listeners. Thank you, Jan, so much for joining us. As always, guys, don't forget to check out Jan's podcast on YouTube. Remind me the name, Jan.
The Pit Stop Lounge. The Pit Stop Lounge. You could do a link in the bio description, so they can access it quite easily.
Definitely do. I'll edit it and add it.
Yeah, guys. Just to be quick on this, we have a Facebook page, an Instagram page, a Spotify page, and also on YouTube. So make sure to give those follows as well. Yeah, there we go.
All right, so this is Jan's channel. This is his last video. Yes. I think you're going to have the next one coming out soon, right, Jan?
No, supposedly it was going to be between today and yesterday and today, but unfortunately, my voice just couldn't handle basically 2 hours speak and do another 2 hours here. So I'm going to do it between tomorrow and Wednesday. If obviously my voice permits 100%. So then the next one will be on Sunday. So we'll try. Hopefully, I'll be better than today. I mean, at least I managed to soldier 2 hours. So yeah.
Thank you so much for that, Jan.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ethan. Cheers, man. I'll see you tomorrow. Franco, thank you as always.
Thank you,
Always a good
Andrea.
time. And man, I'm so glad we got to talk about Dune Part 2. This is why I started this
As it
podcast.
was written.
As it was
As
written.
As it was written.
We got Dune Part 2.
As it was written.
We watched it. We spoke about it. This is exactly why I started the Ad Lib Podcast, to talk about great movies like Dune Part 2.
Yes.
Thank you, viewers and listeners. Thank you, guys. And as always, like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time on the Ad Lib Podcast. Ciao,
Goodbye,
ciao.
guys. Ciao,
لسان
ciao.
الغيب.
Peace out, guys. Peace out.